Hi everybody. Now that you have some idea of what a model view controller system is, I'm going to go ahead, I'm in X10 right now, where my OpenCart was, let me make sure this is working here, where my OpenCart was successfully installed earlier. I'm going to actually hit refresh, because I've noticed, there we go. So what we're going to do is go into public_HTML and take a good look at its architecture. Basically, where is everything? And then we're going to take a good look as to how this qualifies as an MVC system and why it's so good. So let's talk about the front end, what people see. My web address is right here. It's at ksqrx10host.com in the upload folder. So inside the FileZilla, you'll see I'm in the upload folder as well. So the way it works is you have system definitions, images, and two separations of the front end and the back end. So under catalog, that's where everything is that's visible is stored. And if I go back up again and look at admin, you'll see a similar folder structure. Pay close attention. This is view model controller. Right here. So view model controller, model view controller. Go up, go to catalog, view model language controller. So it's an identical setup between the admin and the catalog, leaving everything consistent. Okay. So let's take a look at the view. Remember, the view is what the user sees. Okay. Here I see a theme and I see some JavaScript. If I open that theme, you'll see the word default. If you, down the road, when you want to include another theme, you can install it through the admin directory, or you can actually just download it and upload it to this folder right here. Let's open up default. Now we see template, style sheet, and image. So we have images, CSS files, which is one because it's the default. I haven't installed a theme yet. These are all base level PNGs for the theme. Now we can go into template. This is where it gets sticky. The folder structure here, the view of what people see, are based on functionality. So you get your account, affiliates, checkout, common, error, extension, information, mail, and product. So what they did was try to modularize everything about the view, whether it's a product view, category view, whether it's a header, a menu, something like that. So where you're going to go most of the time when you want to make edits is under common. Okay. Now these are called Twig files. And for example, there's a menu.twig. And here you'll see HTML, but you'll see parentheses with actual code in there. This is for your PHP. And basically it's % for category and categories. Now that's how you can manipulate your Twig. So know that common has things that are very common to the application, including success, search, menu, maintenance, our language, the homepage itself, which is going to be an immediate target, and you can see this is set around a grid system, which would demand some knowledge of Bootstrap here. So we'll go back there, and we have our header, our footer, whether we have currency, the content top, bottom, right, left, and the actual shopping cart. Now let me take a minute here to go into my admin, because I want to show you something. Inside our admin, and I'll go ahead and log in again, you never need to actually edit your text files on FTP. Almost everything here can be done inside the values of where you are. So I'm going to go to the catalog here. I'm actually going to pause this for a second and find what I'm looking for. Okay, under design, you're going to see layouts. Okay, and inside this layout, you'll notice that the layout name mirrors what's in the Twig file. There's account, affiliate, checkout. Here, I'll move it aside so you can see it. See account, affiliate, checkout. There's category. There's a little more, but there's a lot of stuff here. Okay, so when I wanted to do something like, let's say, home. Okay, watch what happens when I click on edit. Here I have edit the stores and the roots. We'll get into roots, but these are the modules right here. So that is actually our layouts where we can move blocks around on the page. That needs a more thorough explanation, obviously, but we're here to talk about OpenCart and how it's organized in the model view controller. So if you click on theme editor here, take another look at the templates here. Okay, these are the Twig files. So now we also have account, affiliate, checkout, common, error, extension, information, mail, and product. So instead of editing from here, if I wanted to go to, wherever we are, if we go to common, right, like this, look, I clicked on common and I get those same twig files I just showed you. I click on the twig and now I have this. So what I can do is edit this, save it, and what you usually need to do when you go to save something is you need to refresh the dashboard. So I went to dashboard and I need to clear my theme and my SAS, but you don't need to edit your twig files through FTP at all. Okay, this exercise is just teaching you about MVC. So the view here has all the templates, HTML, and that's that section. So catalog, let's talk about the model. The model is just going to be database classes that allow us to contact the database. For example, catalog. Catalog, we see a product.php. This is what the model person would be coding on the model view controller team. And here we see some SQL. We see this really long query, which we'll get into down the course as to why this is probably not a good idea. But it grew, and when you have a lot of hands in the pot, these things tend to be complicated. My advice to you guys, if you're looking for work, is always make your SQL queries very understandable. In this case, they don't expect anyone to tinker with the model. It's very similar to WordPress, where they tell you never to touch the WordPress engine. But as far as your code portfolio, you should always have SQL queries that are, not joins of 7 tables at once, which is what this is. So as we go down the page here, we see more model stuff. These are all the values of the field names of the database for OpenCart. And as we get down, we see functions that make sense, like get products. So if I pass an array of data here in get products, that would be in the controller. And this function get products is what's giving that controller the value that he asks for. Okay, so that's your model for products. Now there's other models in here, and they're all based on the same classes, like this review PHP is model catalog review. It extends the model. All the model is going to be is the model class that has the configurations of how to connect to the database. But the ones you would touch the most if you were developing for OpenCart is these right here. Now, generally, you would never do that. You would control all the product from the admin. That, for people who are watching who have no clue what I'm talking about, which is possible if you haven't had PHP before, is important to understand. You don't need to tinker with this at all. This allows you to connect to the database. If you're a dev and you want to increase the search function, go ahead and tinker, but keep a backup copy of it. Okay? So that's our model as demonstrated by the catalog. So all of these are basically queries to the database, which leads us to the controller. So now I'm in catalog. I'm going to go to controller, and we'll go to product. Now, what we're going to look for in product is the function get products, because we just looked at it in the model. So if I look at Control F here and I look for get products, what we're looking for is there's get product image, get product discounts. What we're doing here is finding the model catalog product, which is the product class, inside the catalog object inside the model folder. And we're getting product options here. So all these things are the controller code where the PHP communicates with the model. Now, if you have never done this, or even if you have only had WebD 166 or 153, it's still going to be very, very confusing. But I just wanted to show you that over time you can go in here and manipulate this code. Is this expert level code? I would think so, because it's an evolution of releases since version 1 of OpenCart. Now, are there flaws in it? Yes, I see flaws. But can it be made better? Probably. But it's functional, it's tested, it's got good developers. And that's why you can trust it. But if you're going to go in with a model view controller system, this is the one to go in with. It's a really good one. Plus, on your resume now, you can say you've worked with MVC. And that's a big part of this, as I let off this screencast with Indeed.com showing you, MVC and all these job things. You can say that you have experience with it. Now, the depth of that experience is obviously negligible because you were working in the admin screen. However, if you get a chance to play and maybe increase the search, which right now is one of the limitations of OpenCart, you would have an excellent portfolio piece. Okay, so that is how OpenCart uses Model View Controller.